Oh wait, I lost him. There he is.
This song is called Timberline, and it's about a weekend getaway that goes a bit sideways, and the destination bears a troublesome resemblance to the point of origin. It sounded funnier in my head. You and me on a trail made of dreams, leading to the heights unknown. Left behind, out of sight, out of mind, was a mountain of trouble in our home. Well, our lives looked good back into the woods. We laughed and played among the trees. But here in this place, there is just no escape from the same old harsh reality. Here at the timberline, it's all fun and games till someone takes a real bad fall. Here at the timberline, you better stay close, or no one's gonna hear you when you call. The moaning of the canyons, the howling of the wind. We gotta trust each other while the night is closing in. Ain't nothing short of mercy gonna lead us home again. The danger never crossed my mind until we crossed the timberline. Now we've all seen faith in the past go waste on things that are now long gone. All I'm asking here where the air is clear, is there faith enough for moving on? Having seen our heels from the cliff tops, no better off than where we were before. Can we take what we learned from this mountain on the trail back to our back door? Here at the timberline, it's all fun and games till someone takes a real bad fall. Here at the timberline, you better stay close, or no one's gonna hear you when you call. The moaning of the canyons, the howling of the wind. We gotta trust each other while the night is closing in. Ain't nothing short of mercy gonna lead us home again. The danger never crossed my mind until we crossed the timberline. Here at the timberline, it's all fun and games till someone takes a real bad fall. Here at the timberline, you better stay close, or no one's gonna hear you when you call. The moaning of the canyons, the howling of the wind. We gotta trust each other while the night is closing in. Ain't nothing short of mercy gonna lead us home again. The danger never crossed my mind until we crossed the timberline. Woo!
How about that? That was my cousin Mark Barnes. If you're unfamiliar with Mark, he's the oldest of the Shaw boys, Jim's second son, I think. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, thank you, Mark. We'll love you. We haven't seen Mark come on the show, but that would be nice if he popped in. We saw his grandson Eli come in. Hello, Jennifer. I see Jennifer and Khaki said hello, or she liked the video. Thanks, Khak. Good to see you. Let me drop the link down there somewhere. See if I can find it. There it is. It might be not too many people watching this show. That's okay. Maybe we'll start doing shorter shows. That's what I was hoping. Hey, Dave. I see you out there liking the video. Appreciate the likes. Well, I don't know. Anyways. So what's happening on the 28th of April, the year of the COVID? What's going on out there? Any stories? Dave, how you doing, David? Any topics? Any want to come up on the panel and talk about whatever you want to talk about, other than the taboo subjects? Jennifer, nope, that is not Newport Beach. That is not a resort in Newport Beach. It's a place that some of us have gone to. I'm pretty sure. I know someone will get that reference behind me. God, I hope you're good, God. You know, it actually had a good day today. A good day. I might brag a little because I'll get that out of the way while no one's looking. I did a pretty good run down to Garberville last Friday, and there was a 10,000 pound order in there, and a bunch of other stuff. And anyways, the guy called me. It's all gone. So they put another nice little order in today. So that always will bring a smile to my face. But thank you for lessening. Dave Jaggard is pretty darn close, Dave. I think you might have even got the correct answer. Hearst Castle. Correct, sir. What was your next question, Jennifer? What was your next question? Who's out there today? It's a beautiful day up here, nice and sunny. I was talking to Dennis on the phone. He said it was, I think, going to be 90 something up there. And I looked out on my porch in the shade, and it's a beautiful day. Don't get me wrong, and it was 68. So that's what I consider a nice, beautiful day, is sunny and 68. It's probably too cold for most, but anyways. I see Jennifer said hi, Sarah. I'm not sure. That's what I see. I don't always see all the posts, or maybe I see them at different times. I don't know. Hey, Sarah, good to see you. Who else is up in here? Who else is up in the hizzle? That's house for all you squares, not hip hoppers. Sarah knew what I was talking about. I'd bet on it. So, that link again. How's the weather where you're located? How is the weather down there? I think it's a warm day. I think it's a warm, 100. 100 in the high desert, Palm Springs, Indio area. That's a little too hot for me. That's a little too hot for this old man. Dennis Dietz in the house. Good to see you, Dennis, if you are. I'm doing a little advertising today. I don't know who noticed where my shirt came from. I don't like, it's really clingy, so I can't stand up. It clings in my belly. Low desert, sorry about that. Yes, Dennis, Hearst Castle. Who am I? Can you see that logo on the screen? I'm repping an artist here. Que pasa. I had a little Spanish back in junior high, I think, but don't remember much other than patio and taco. How's everyone else doing out there? Dennis, what you doing? You all done working today? I think David didn't work again today. He says he's kind of enjoying it, which really surprised me. So you're just going to leave me up here hanging, blowing in the breeze. I thought I had some topics. Let's see, topics to talk about. Topics. We brought up weather. That's kind of we hope to get your camera soon. Brought up weather. That's kind of boring, kind of superficial, but not really. Any news on what's going on with the COVID virus? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? Is it getting? David, come on up here. Let's hear what you have to say about your unemployment. Let's hear what you have to say. Let me drop that link over there. Wait, my phone's working. I gotta check this. This is from my partner. Hold on here. Regarding my last little order. Okay. Okay. Good. I'm glad I checked that out. Timely fashion. So the order is going to go through. Hello, Janice Murray. Good to see you. Who would like to come on? Who would like to come on? Well, so I'll just talk. If I'm going to talk, I'll just ramble on. I have a real nice gaming keyboard that's like really tactile, and it's got like a nice loud push and a click, and it just feels good to type on it, but it's very loud. So up until now, you might have been hearing that, but now I have a nice soft keyboard to lessen that effect. There we go. We got someone up here. Who am I repping today, David?
Little Dan's.
When am I getting my T-shirt from you?
Little Dan's. I'm wearing it right now. A medium will work for you. Won't it?
No, not even close. I think this is a medium, and it's horrible.
Yeah, I haven't worn a medium since 5th grade, I think.
I like the XLs just to make me feel, but even a double X doesn't hurt my feelings.
That might be all I got left.
Well, I'll take one of those, David. I've been waiting for a while now, and I'm going to keep on you. It's going to be one of my daily little gags here. Where's my T-shirt, David Dietz?
That's fine. Get in line.
Oh, I see. Hi, Shannon. I do have a Dan's granddaughter from Scotland is I think she's in law school over there, and I asked her if she'd come on one of these times, and maybe she will. So we could really have a nice international feel to the show. But I think she watches once in a while. Yeah, that's annoying. What's going on, David? What's on your mind, sir? You're home?
I'm home, yeah.
Huntington Beach?
Yeah, my band's back in the shop, so I'm stuck at home.
How's your boy doing today? What's he up to?
He's with 6 friends, and they're out body surfing.
Okay. How's the beaches down there? I imagine with the warm days, they're filling up, huh?
They were so crowded this last weekend that Newport, I believe this week they're going to vote on closing Newport Beach because it goes out of hand.
And not only that, it's not just the weekend anymore, right?
It's still the weekend. Weekends are always about twice, probably 3 times more crowded than the. I think there's still quite a few people working. The freeways are pretty, are pretty crowded during the commute hours still. Not like it was before, but I would say a good. I throw a number out there. Probably 50% of the people are still going to their jobs and working. Would be my guess. Looking at traffic, it's about half of what it usually is.
So today there's not many people on the beach, not like the weekend.
No, I haven't been down there personally, but typically no. Typically, it's probably 20% of the people during the week.
Yeah, but all those people used to go to work during the week. Well, you still think a lot of them are.
It's funny. You would think a lot of the locals are down at the beach every day, and they're not. So the beaches get crowded from people coming in from the inland areas, And most of those, I think, even if one of the parents are still working, they usually wait till the weekends to come.
Hey, Kurt. So I guess little Chase. Hey, Kurt. Chase thinks he's a local, huh? Or he is a local, right?
Yeah, he definitely is a local. He's every bit of it.
Does he bag on the what do they call the non-locals?
The 909ers.
The 909ers?
The 909ers.
They're not big on the 909ers?
No, they make fun of him. He's the same little guy that when I was his age and we'd come here from the Inland Empire, they'd give us a bunch of crap. So now he's doing the same thing that those locals did back then. I don't think it's changed in 50 years.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think so. Surfers have a territorial kind of thing, and I guess you can't blame them because everyone wants to come in pee in their bushes or whatever.
But it's bad here, but Hawaii's notorious for that.
Yeah.
Hawaii doesn't mind if you come and visit, but don't try to stay there. Especially if you're a surfer. I knew one friend in high school that thought he was going to go to Hawaii and surf, and they ended up beating him up and putting him on a plane and sending him home. Yeah. Wow. Great story. So what's going on? You looking for unemployment? Is that the case? No, I was just kidding. Did you apply? I think I applied, but there's some paperwork I would have to refile just to get it started. And I'm not going to do that unless I need to. Okay. It's funny, this week I really don't have any scheduled work. Probably the first week in a long time. So I'm gonna keep updating my unemployment just in case, if this turns into 2 weeks, then I'd certainly consider it. So what do you think is going to happen? You got a 2-week prediction, a 1-month prediction for us? What I feel, I just read on a Huntington Beach forum that they're planning a huge protest on May 1st in downtown, and they're going to close PCH, and they're expecting a big turnout. I think what you see anyway out in the marketplace, it's more and more people are just kind of gradually going out. Yes, Dennis, that's one of his favorite places to go. Him and his buddies go down to the Wedge and get beat up. So yeah, he's definitely a bodyboarder if he goes there. That's crazy waves. Yeah, actually one of his friends about 6 months ago, they were down at the Wedge, and he was kind of laying on the sand on his boogie board, and somebody was skimboarding, and the skimboard got away and hit him in the side of the head and opened him up. They had an ambulance there and had a concussion. Ooh, quite the story. But the Wedge is still pretty notorious for damaging people. I'm sorry I interrupted you by putting that up there. What were we even talking about? We were talking. What do you think is going to happen in a couple of weeks? A story you read? Yeah, the story was that they're planning a big open up California protest. So people are certainly getting agitated, and I certainly understand it. That there's no consistency in the way the news is presenting. The facts. And I don't know. Personally, I think it's kind of getting away from the virus, and it's starting to get a little too political. But are they wearing masks down at the beach? Almost nobody does. Did you get your check? Your stimulus check? No. I haven't either. I've heard that there's some people that are getting the actual physical paper checks. I saw that on Facebook today. They're starting to roll in, I guess. I asked my wife, and I asked her I was going to go down to the mailbox and get the mail, and she goes, no. She signed up with the post office that they actually send her via online everything that's in your mailbox. So I don't know how they do that, but they take pictures, and everything that's going to be in your mailbox is shown on an app on your phone. What's inside the letters? And that's what inside the letters, but what letters are deposited into your mailbox. Oh, I gotcha. Hey, Ashley Wells, good to see you. Maggie Wells, good to see you.
hope you had a happy birthday yesterday.
That was fun. We kept our distance yesterday, and Joe and Lisa came down, and Joanna had baked some delicious cupcakes and cinnamon rolls, and everybody kind of just had fun talking and hanging out.
Did she bring her peanut butter cookies?
Somebody had peanut butter cookies. I had a little taste of one.
How was it?
It was good.
Because Kenny put a recipe up that was just really like 4 ingredients, which kind of blew me away. And I might have to make those.
Yeah, Kenny is he's quite the little cook.
Yeah, he's resourceful.
I'm not sure that that's correct, Janice.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I would be more guessing that the salt water would kill the virus quicker than regular water would. I think salt is a natural antiviral.
Danny Wells got the cookies. Lucky Danny Wells. My goodness. Let me drop the link. Someone else wants to come up.
So you did get your Amazon stuff straightened out?
I think so. Yeah, I think I did. And the lady I'd help, I said, you just make a couple orders, or I said, make an order and then I'll just keep it and I'll pay for it. So she ordered 2 big things.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Maybe it turned out right. Yeah, my mom, she said she ordered something this morning, and I never got that order. But when my helper, the lady who set up my Amazon page, she figured it out. But yeah, I'm going to brag a little bit. That order I did last Friday, I took down to Garberville. It was like it was close to 12,000 pounds. It's all gone. It got the bulk of it got there yesterday, and it's all gone today.
Oh, that's nice. They're probably screaming for more now.
He put in another nice order, not quite as big, but yeah, no, that actually gave me a little pep in my step.
Little hope for the future.
Yeah, because the one guy bought 10,000 pounds with the big farm, and he goes, "That's just the tip of the iceberg." And I love to hear that one.
Yeah,
but that never pans out. That.
Going back to that comment about the salt water spreading the virus.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Is they're trying to figure out how to keep people off the beach, so they spread, what probably is going to end up being false things, to get people to say, well, we better not go down there. That's the case, and then it's going to come out that they were lying about it, and then they kind of lose their respectability about the next thing they say. That's kind of the pattern I've seen anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely don't want to go out and hug strangers right now, but I agree. There's some things that are kind of funky about all this. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I think there are some states that are starting to open up, which is what, 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. As Palm Springs, they've had this week of 100-degree weather. If that's going to show a big decline in the coronavirus, I would suspect that it will.
Did you know the numbers in the Palm Spring area? Was it considered a hot spot whatsoever, or was it?
I think because that's Riverside County. And Riverside County was the one that had quite a few deaths early on. And I think those were kind of attributed out to the desert, but it would be interesting to see if the virus how it does when the outside temperature does it die quicker than say a 60, 68 degree temperature.
We should know. We should know within a week or two. I would think.
Yeah. You would think, virus that's on hard surfaces and that kind of temperature wouldn't last, but a minute or two.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. I think me and Dennis talked about this because data I think is important. I think the more we know, the more information we have, the better the models are about how it's spreading. Instead of the government just pumping in literally trillions of dollars financially, there should have been I don't know. Here I'm a, what do you call it, a backseat driver. But backseat driving this thing, why did they put like a few $billions into having like people volunteer for their homes for people to come in and test the virus on service, like the Army? Just do it in a week across the nation. Just test surfaces, test buildings, test different houses, get a good set of data for statistical data, and it wouldn't have cost that much. The military, the National Guard, or somebody could have done that, and but instead they just pumped in literally trillions of dollars to corporations and people and hospitals when they could have. I don't know if that just sounds crazy, but it seems like they should have put a national effort into collecting data really quick.
Well, yeah, and they could have, they could have had people that have actively have the virus, that could have coughed on things and sneezed on stuff and different temperatures and different surfaces. And I think the data would have been a lot stronger than the data they have now.
It seems like they should have, focused on that so we could figure out what's going on a lot earlier. But again, I'm backseat driving and could be wrong. I think me and Dennis were talking about that on the phone. Why did they put a national effort into testing, random samples? That's a good level.
No, and I think they took. It seems like it early on that they took a lot of the data from other countries and just accepted that as true, and that's the kind of the data that they used.
Yep, I don't know. It's we're still very lucky. I heard in Southern Oregon there's still no new cases. I haven't heard anything here. So yeah. Anybody else out there who has any interest? I see a lot of we're getting a lot of comments about the virus over there. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I can't see those.
Yeah, I don't. There's a lot of different. Ooh. David, you're gonna have to talk for a second.
Why?
Hold on here, buddy.
Okay. Oh, now this is putting me on the spot. So we can't talk politics, we can't talk religion, and I don't know what everybody's posting. So hang on 1 second. Let me get my iPad so I can read comments.
Does that work for you?
Tomorrow will be fine.
All right. I'll be up there probably around 1 o'clock or something like that.
Sounds good. Give me a call when you're leaving, and then I'll make sure I'm here.
Okay. And then I'll make sure you're there when I'm leaving, and then I'll get that.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Thank you.
Take care. Have a good night. Bam. Just like this. Here we go. I got a question for you, David.
Okay.
Tell us about your kids and what they're up to, David. And start with the oldest.
I think everybody kind of saw what he was up to. He was on not too long ago. I'm pretty proud of my oldest son. He's got a pretty good heart. He doesn't come off. He's a lot like his grandfather on his mother's side was.
Yeah. Okay. He's got a big. He's smart as a whip. He's articulate. He has strong ideas that he's willing to share. Which is no, I was very impressed with him. I saw him when he was a lot younger, but no, he was very impressive.
It was kind of funny when let me tell you a little story about Brandon when he was in kindergarten, and in kindergarten, his kindergarten teacher actually came up to my ex-wife Sandra and said, do you mind if I see some, Brandon's different than the rest of the kids. Do you mind if I test him? And he was in kindergarten and they tested him. They did an IQ test and and his reading level came at 13.1. And, so he was in kindergarten reading at a college level. And, his IQ came out at about I want to say 170 something, 172. And so basically they met with the people at the school and with Brandon, and they said, you can skip, two grades if you'd like to. You're certainly capable. And I'll never forget, Brandon looked at the teacher and goes, "No," he goes, "I can't do that. The kids in the class depend on me." So even at that young age, he looked at others' needs rather than pushing himself forward. That was kind of interesting.
That's a cool story, but also didn't he have some pretty interesting inventions that he would come up, some creative inventions?
Oh, yeah. If he could put that one together, we're all going to be rich.
Okay, what about that beauty? Your daughter Allie, right?
Allie's engaged. She's supposed to get married this year.
Okay.
I just talked to her on the phone. Her and her fiance are looking to buy a house in Cool, California, which is up in the foothills.
Yeah.
And then Chase just kind of he's a bright kid. He's got an awful lot of friends, and he's kind of a leader. So he kind of runs the group.
He's a wedgie. Right?
That's all I got.
The wedgie will give you a wedgie.
He's a wedgie, yeah.
You ever body surf the wedge, Dennis?
Oh, me and Kurt used to go there religiously. Yeah, we were some of the first ones that did it. Really crazy spot. When it gets big, it's pretty hairy. It'll let you know if you have balls or not, because it gets real steep, real big, real quick. I mean, you could be on what you think is going to be a 5-foot wave, and all of a sudden it wedges up to 20 foot tall, and you either got to go or. And you're in, when you get to the bottom of the wave, you're in like 2 feet of water. So you get smashed into the sand pretty darn hard if you don't know how to tumble out of it.
No, it's a shore break, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. When it gets really, really big, it will break on the outside, but it's a scary place. If you're not used to it, don't know how to get in or get out, you can get hurt there very easily. In fact, people get hurt there all the time. Kind of like Big Beach in Hawaii, kind of the same kind of thing. There's a spot in Cabo, Lovers Beach, same kind of thing. And I know 4 or 5 people that have died at Lovers Beach, because that goes down it goes straight down to 4,000 feet of water. So the wave that comes in there is just heavy and thick. And if you're intimidated or don't know the ocean, you're in trouble. You're in trouble real quick. So what was I going to say, though? We used to laugh. We used to play games with Brandon about, he was probably 7, 6. Brandon, what's 12,048 times 31? And he 2 seconds, he came up with the answer, and we would always check him, and he was always right.
No, there's no doubt about it. He's a smart kid.
He was a bright kid, man. Very, very much so. Got to give him a lot of credit for that.
No,
I would say, okay, just my experience body surfing in the ocean, especially if you're in surf where you're getting beat up a little bit, you're spitting and snot is being woofed out of your nose all the time because of salt water, and inhaling a little bit of water, and working it and breathing hard, and so there's probably a lot of spit and saliva out there in the surf when you're out there. I don't know if that could be good or bad. I would think it would be bad. If there's a lot of people in the water, I'm saying.
Yeah, it does tend to clean out your sinuses.
Big time.
Yeah.
And that ends up in the ocean floating around, right? I mean,
it does. It does.
That would be my biggest concern, I think.
So you're not going to go body surfing anytime soon?
I lost my duck feet in the fire. I'd have to go buy a new set of Churchills if I was.
Okay, well, you can
do
that.
$100 investment.
You can do that.
Yeah.
You could. What'd you do today?
Today, mowed lawns. It's 95 here right now. Did that earlier. Took a friend up to Paradise so he could go get a trailer to put on his property. Amazing how many houses are being built up Paradise right now, but still pretty ugly up there. A
lot of labor up there right now.
Anybody that wants to work could find work up there if you have any kind of talent at all. It doesn't really interest me right now. And I did get my check. I did get my check yesterday. Paper mail-in check. I guess I could go in and show it. It didn't have Trump's signature on it.
Okay.
Wasn't signed by the president, but it did have his name on it. It kind of said something about presented by Donald J. Trump, but signed the signature was a lady. So
Okay.
just so people know, and I did not receive the letter. I hear a lot of people are getting like a letter of some kind with their check, and I didn't get that. It was more like a federal tax return check is how it came to me, but came in the mail.
I wonder if I made a mistake. I set it up for direct deposit just like last week, and it still hasn't come yet. Maybe I should.
I heard direct deposit was going to get taken care of first, and the mail-ins were going to be quite a bit later. But I'm considered pretty poverty-stricken because of my taxes I did last year. I didn't show a lot of income, just the way it worked out last year. So maybe that's why I got mine quicker than some. I heard the people that made more money are going to get theirs after. The people that made the less amount of money will get theirs first, is kind of what I heard. But I was happy. I was surprised that it came as soon as it did. So still haven't cashed it. I got a year to cash it, it says. So.
Well, there you go. Anybody have any questions for Mr. Dennis Dietz out there?
Oh, I wouldn't think so.
I don't know. We'll see. I got a question for you.
So, no, I got a question for you. Have you ever been to Hearst Castle?
Yes.
Being that's a nice outdoor swimming pool outside.
Yes, I've been there when I was a young kid, 12, 13. Went with Grandma, my mom, and Joyce, I think.
If I remember, there was 4
Jimmy.
or 5 different tours you could take of the place.
Oh yeah, there's like the where you get to see extra rooms or whatever.
Indoor tour, outdoor tour, the wildlife animal tour. There was a time where he had, a wildlife, cats, bears, lions.
In the history of William Randolph Hearst, I think wasn't he the one? I bet you Robert might know this. What they call it, red journalism.
I think he owned a few papers. He was a major mogul in the newspaper industry back when newspapers were read all the time.
But I think he was I know he I'm pretty sure he promoted the Cuban War, one of the Cuban wars.
I don't know the backstory on Randolph or his fortunes, where it came from.
I think I don't know if it was called red journalism or what, but he liked the kind of the sensational stuff, and it was a little different.
Obviously, he lived large.
Yellow journalism. Yeah, yellow journalism is what it was called.
Is that what it's called? Well, he lived large, looking at his mansion, obviously.
Yeah, he was. Yes.
No, it's quite the place with just the furniture and the interiors, and it was just the gold leaf in the tiles there is just insane. I would suggest anybody that's never done it to try to do those tours, because it is quite interesting.
Super cheap is a real relative term, Sahara. So I can't imagine it would be less than millions and millions, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. So, have you had any Jehovah's Witness coming to your house? I noticed Robert put something up about that. I think they're kind of jonesing right now. They want to get out and do their thing, and I don't think they can. And
I haven't. I have
it's
not.
certainly not kosher to go knocking on anybody's door right now.
No.
So I did hear some good news about Butte County, that we had 16 confirmed cases.
Yeah.
No one died in Butte County. All 16 cases have recovered.
Well, that's
so right
really
now,
good.
there's not one person in the hospitals. In fact, they had a commercial on the news this morning of Venlo Hospital asking people to come in and utilize the hospital, because so many people, what I'm hearing, are not taking care of their day-to-day health through all this. They're afraid to go to the hospital. Now they're trying to promote and get that business back going again. Robert, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
Good, good. I heard some funny things about Georgia today in North Carolina.
Well,
About the reopening and a lot of conflict and
whatever they said, the state probably deserved it. The reason I logged on is you were talking about William Randolph Hearst and Hearst Castle, and I've taken about 3 or 4 of the different tours there, and probably more recently than maybe some of you. So I forget the exact number, but he didn't get that place cheap. The person who really built it for him was his architect, Julia Morgan, and she was in charge of the whole operation, and he was spending something like an average between $50,000 and $100,000 a day, or something like that. And this is back in the World War I to the 1920s era, and it was the equivalent of spending over $1 million a day today. And what you see today is the result of all sorts of changes that took place, because he'd come up and take a look at it and say, well, you know what, I don't like that grove of palm trees over there. Let's uproot them and move them all over there. And that
must be nice.
Yeah, he was just he was so picky about the whole thing. And
I heard they would go to Europe and actually dismantle rooms in different, castles or whatever over in Europe, and then bring them back piece by piece, numbered, and then put them together in his house somehow.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine being one of the construction guys on that job. It'd be like, hands down, what a nice job.
If you
you want me to redo it another way? Okay.
If you go to the Pacific Coast Highway down at the bottom of the hill in San Simeon, across, there's a couple of warehouses, and they're these they're really nice kind of mission style buildings, but I've heard that they're empty now, but they were loaded with all sorts of stuff that he never even used, and he'd get the stuff shipped there and then up the hill.
Chairs, furniture, desks, mirrors, wall plaques, mosaics.
For instance, the picture
probably just absolutely nuts.
Yeah. His mother did not want him to have that property because she knew that he couldn't control his spending. So he literally had to wait for his mother to die before he could actually start building up there.
I hate to do this, and it's not that I don't want to be here. I think my audio is messing up again, Patrick, because I'm on my Wi-Fi again outside.
Just a couple of
things. The word of the day here is hot. I hope everything works out for Georgia, North Carolina on the opening. It seems like there's a lot of cases still going up, so I don't know what people are thinking. I thought the cases should have been going down for the openings, but there's so much misinformation, disinformation. Hard to get a handle on this thing. I was telling Patrick, why isn't our military has to have a whole division for bioweapons. There's got to be a whole military division, that's their thing. That's what they do. Why are they not going through Costco stores randomly to see if there's viral stuff on the merchandise, if it's in the bathrooms or random houses? Can they find the COVID virus inside on somebody's floor in their? Why are just for information?
Well, I don't. We don't know for sure that they have that capability, but B, can you imagine how the public would go into a panic if they witnessed that?
And that, I think we were talking about that. Maybe they aren't doing it because if it did show up a bad, that you couldn't trust your food, then that could cause a panic, I guess. But it sure seems like there's a lack of intel on this thing, and so we get all this disinformation from different sources. It just makes it more confusing for everybody.
Agreed.
Yeah, I just wish there was more credible information that was leading this thing. It just seems like the information just is, all over the place. So it sure seems like there's a lack of. I'm losing my audio though, guys. So that's my spiel for the day. Nice to see you guys. Stay cool.
Good to see you, Dennis.
All right, buddy. I won't take up any more time.
what I was going to point out to you was the picture behind you. Directly behind you in the picture is this sort of curved colonnade. That was actually constructed for the pool. And then the other part of it, with the columns in front of it, that's actually a portion of an old Roman temple that was literally dismantled and then brought back on a ship to the States. And I remember the tour guide saying that they actually had these gigantic crates filled with marble pieces, and they all were labeled Roman Temple Kit. So
That must be priceless.
It's beyond what I can conceive to have the kind of money to do something like that.
So what do you know about what do we know about the way he operated? Hearst, wasn't he kind of sensationalist?
He knew how to sell newspapers. It's been a while since I've read about him. My daughter Amelia is a little more up to date on him, and she speaks about him as if he's the sort of a war criminal responsible for the state of journalism today because of what he did and how he tried to manipulate the news and that sort of thing. But yellow journalism was a term that existed before Hearst. It came actually from this comic strip that ran in newspapers in the 19th century called The Yellow Kid. But it's rooted in this idea of sensationalistic news stories or stories that are ridiculously dramatic or really go to blaming one particular entity and with little regard for anybody's reputation. And we've had a lot of court cases over the years that have helped define and restrain the bounds of journalism because of that whole mess that existed then.
Can I put you on the spot?
I probably don't know the answer, but go ahead.
I think you might. You might know where I'm going with this. Impressions.
Impression?
Can you do impressions?
Not really, no.
Okay, we're just done. It's just a done thing right there. You're not going to pop out a Robert De Niro for me or a Chris Walken.
Who told you I did impressions?
I just have this feeling.
Yeah, Christopher Walken would be a really, really difficult voice to do.
He's hilarious, though.
Yeah. I love watching his movies just to watch his craziness. But
I agree. Who's if you were to do impressions? Who would you do?
I don't know. That's for somebody that lives in Las Vegas. Ask Rich Little. I'm not your guy.
No? Okay. Sorry. I just heard that. I heard a rumor.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can do voices and accents and stuff like that once in a while, but I used to do that for my kids when I was reading to them just to get their attention. I do different voices of the characters I was reading in the books, stuff like that. But whatever you heard has been wildly exaggerated.
Okay. I guess I said impressionist. I meant to say impersonator.
Impressionist, yeah, whatever. But back to Hearst. If you've ever seen the film Citizen Kane, that movie was supposed to be about William Randolph Hearst.
That's correct. I believe so.
It's kind of interesting too because at the beginning of the movie, it begins with this sort of wild blitz of obituary about Kane dying, and they show all these shots of his grandiose palace, and they call it Xanadu in the film. And all the shots they took were actually all those old buildings at Balboa Park.
Oh, really?
There were just black and white stills of all the buildings at Balboa Park, and those were the exterior shots of Xanadu for the film.
And I imagine Xanadu was probably representing Hearst Castle.
Exactly. Yeah. Hearst did everything he could to try and keep that film from having a successful release. Particularly, he was shacked up with this silent film actress, Marion Davis, and anyway, he in the film they show his lover being this young woman who's an aspiring opera singer, and she goes on stage and just makes a complete mess of everything and gets scathing reviews, and supposedly when Marion Davis saw a print of the film, she was really, really hurt because she knew that they were targeting her with that. And that just made Hearst all the angrier about it.
Well, there's some detail there. You had some tidbits for the Hearst Castle. Did you recognize it? You recognized right away the background then.
Well, yeah, I was expecting Laurence Olivier to get off his horse and go up the steps. I mean, they used that shot in Spartacus.
Oh, okay.
They went all the way up there just to shoot one 30-second scene in Spartacus, just to get that shot of the pool.
Are you a movie buff?
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, I think black and white is highly underappreciated.
Okay. Do you go to the theater often?
No, well, there's no theater to go to right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always been kind of fascinated with films. I like watching a lot of old film noirs and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's to me, movies are such a great art form because they really take you out of yourself and put you in the time and place. And the only thing that can be better than that is reading a good book. And most people don't read today, and I don't read as much as I should anymore. But it really can take you out of where you are into someone else's shoes and put you in a different time and place. And I guess I've always kind of admired that.
Did you ever try to shoot any films?
No. I'm a man keenly aware of his limitations. I wouldn't be able to do anything like that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about that. I just don't know. So what's the last book you read?
Gosh, I can't remember. Amelia had me read a science fiction book. Amelia is a real science fiction buff, and science fiction really kind of isn't my thing, but I read it anyway, and it was called The Voyage to Alpha Centauri. And after a couple of chapters, I couldn't put it down. And it's weird because I kind of started getting a little cinematic with it with her. I think she had just gone up to North Dakota, and so I was calling her and sending her emails and stuff, and we were trying to cast it as if we were going to make it into a film. And I'd say, okay, who would play this part? Who would they play that part, etc. I just remember the main character would have been played by Edward James Olmos because he was a Hispanic scientist and who was in his old age, and I just thought he'd fit the part.
So you can do Cat, Steve.
Well, in my mind, I can. Sometimes I'll do that for my kids when I'm teaching them a novel. If there's been a film made of it, I'll actually print out sheets and show the cast members who played the different roles, and I think it helps them visualize the people when they're reading it a little bit better. Or else, if it hasn't been made into a film, I'll do a class session and have them cast the film themselves and ask them who they think should play this role or that role or that sort of thing.
How are your girls? Your girls at home?
Well, for the first time since December, my wife finally got her house, so they're over. They're kind of doing the move-in with their mom right now. I had Lucy over here, my youngest, today because there's no Wi-Fi over there and she can't do her school assignments at that place. So she came over here, and we spent about 2 hours doing school assignments and 3 hours watching Better Call Saul together. And then she had to go back home. But anyway.
How far is the new house from you?
About a 5-minute drive, if that much.
Well, that's nothing. Is it something they could ride their bikes, or is it safe to ride their bikes? Do kids even do that anymore?
Yeah. Some people ride bikes around here. The Deep South, it's hard to explain. It's not like California. I mean, the weather here, especially in about 2 or 3 weeks, it's going to start getting really hot and really humid here. And when that happens, the level of outdoor exercise you're going to see is going to be limited to a few fanatics that are daring enough to go out and go jogging or something like that. It's not like in California where you just see people outdoors doing things all the time. And but we do ride bikes here and things like that. It's different. They don't go out of their way here to make bike trails for people or anything like that. It's a whole different mentality.
Okay.
So anyway, all I can say is every time I look at pictures of Crescent City, I just burn with envy for you. But
No problem. No, actually, I found a real special place. I'm real lucky. I love it here. I don't envy anyone anywhere else, to be honest with you.
Yeah, in my ideal world, it would always be just kind of on the verge of being rainy with lots of fog, high of maybe 55 degrees, lows in the low 40s, and that's a perfect world for me. But I guess that's for people of a little more of a like status than myself.
Well, I don't know. You might be surprised. I think that's from about Eureka north to probably Canada, and there's probably a sweet spot in Oregon for that. And but yeah, that's my weather. That's what I love. I love rain. It's not, we've had over 100 inches here, and that's not too much for me. It's like I'll take rain. I love rain.
Well, I think somebody else needs to come on because I've been on here too long.
No, yeah, it was good to see you. Thank you for coming on and saving me a little bit. We're coming up on the first hour, so maybe, hey everybody, bam, maybe we'll just do an hour show today, unless somebody has something real important. I put the link down. I dropped the link, but that might be a good idea. Maybe that was a good ending point. Unless someone has something they want to talk about, they have a topic, check in, say hello. Good day for me, so I'm happy. So, no. Okay, well, what's going on? The link has been set, and what you got? Any questions, comments? Who's out there? See ya? Anything? If you watch the beginning of this video, if you go back and watch it, if you came in late, it was a nice clip of my cousin Mark Barnes, who's Jim's second oldest son, and he's a very talented musician. And we got a picture of him live, I think somewhere in Utah or Nevada, somewhere up in there. But other than that, maybe we'll just wrap things up. What do you say, guys? What do you say? I'm not gonna sing. That is for sure. Okay, well. I'm tired of talking too, Danny Wells. I'm tired of talking. We'll have to, maybe, I don't know, we tell that story one of these days up here, but it was kind of funny, wasn't it? Tired of talking. Well, okay. Well, darn. That's okay. We can. Anybody have anything else to say? Buddy Barnes. Now we get a question. Save us right at the 11th hour. Buddy Barnes. I remember Buddy. I remember he seemed a little bit. I remember he was in Fontana for a while. I remember one clear memory of him riding down the street on a bicycle and pushing a car that had a car alarm on it just to set it off. That's about all I remember about Buddy Barnes. Other than the fact also there's I don't know if it's a lore of the family. He was bitten by a black widow's nest of babies, like hundreds of bites when he was little. Was that Buddy? Was my memory failing me? But I heard he made like medical news or something for how many black widow bites that he got, but he didn't die. I think that was Buddy. Dennis, what did you remember about Buddy Barnes, Dennis? I'm guessing he was Miley's son and Phyllis, I'm guessing, but that's how my family genealogy would place him, with Phyllis and Miley would be my guess. Well, Dennis, that didn't get any bites, so we're coming up on an hour. I think this horse is pretty well beaten. So thank you for coming in. Thank you for watching, and I'll probably come back tomorrow. I don't have anything else planned, so. You don't have to watch, but it's nice. It's nice if you do. It's nice if you comment, so I actually know who's out there, and that might spark a memory or spark a story or spark something. out there. But let's just let's call it an early day, and I'll go out and enjoy the rest of the afternoon here, and maybe do a little more gardening. So thank you, peace, peace, love, and all that stuff. And let's just say good day, and we'll talk again soon. See ya. I would not want to be ya. Adios.